Here with the University of Tampa following their victory in the NCAA Division II South Region semifinal. Joined by head coach Chris Katanek, student athletes J.J. Ramirez and Zoe Seplet. Coach, could you start things off just with some comments about today's match?
Really proud of our kids. We advancing is so difficult that, and they did it. We struggled early, and they didn't lose it. They kept their composure, kept working at it. We had a couple of goals. One was, to outwork them and win the long rallies and the hustle plays, and I thought we did that. They were just outstanding last night, and we wanted to match that or do better. I think these two kids that I brought with me are integral in our success. JJ anchors our defense, serve, receive. Zoe only sets half the offense, but it's a very efficient half, and we obviously scored a ton of points during that rotation, and that's nothing against the other half because we run a 6-2. But I thought they were very good tonight. I thought she was very good. So just really excited. I thought Florida Southern was a really scary opponent because they've won 6 in a row against some really good teams in our league. And last night, the way they played Eckerd was pretty impressive, so I was a bit concerned. But happy to move on.
First off, congratulations on the win. Obviously, like you mentioned, it's like scary playing like a tough opponent like Florida Southern. But during the season, you guys already played them twice. You guys had 2 wins against them under your belt. Do you feel like you guys came into the match already feeling comfortable with those 2 wins already, or were you guys a little bit nervous?
You want to go? You go. Absolutely not. I don't feel. I actually felt more nervous playing them the third time, because I know their potential. Like Coach said, that they won 6 big games and they beat Eckerd yesterday, and it was very, very cool to watch. And like they played like they didn't want to lose, and I feel like they came like that with us as well. But I just had in my head that we had to play like they were playing, and like we play all the time, which is nothing drops and everything's up, and that killer mentality that everything has to be up.
Coach, how important is it that JJ gets those crucial digs out there?
Well, if she doesn't, I'm going to get somebody else to do it. No, she's been our libero all year. Again, she anchors our defense, and she comes up with some big stuff there. And that's sometimes tough for a little person like her. She has a lot of range to cover. It's easier when you're 6 foot tall and, you can cover a lot more area. But she's really got a motor and get some balls and read. And I put a lot of pressure on her, and she handles it well. So, yeah.
Coach, and for the players as well, you mentioned there were some nerves at the start of the match against the Mocs, but how much did those initial aces from Zoe Sepet starting the game help ease those nerves and get you settled into the match?
Well, the first 5 points I was feeling really good, and then it was 5-5. So, yeah, the nerves in the beginning were awesome. And listen, Zoe, one thing she's done between last year and this year has improved her serve and has become a real important point scorer for us, and that was awesome. She set a tone there. But they settled in, and it got tight after that. So I'm not going to say it decreased what she did, but it really settled in. And I was concerned because both teams we're hitting the exact same negative amount. We were both 2, 5, 11 at one point. That was really rough. Fortunately, they were playing as tight as we were, and then we settled in. So,
what are your thoughts on the upcoming game against Lynn?
We know they're a good team. We know it's really hard to beat a team 3 times, and when a season's on the line, it's anyone's game. So I think it's just really important that we stay on our assignments. We go and we look at video and watch how that they've played us last 2 times, and we'll make a game plan and go from there.
Very urgency in that third set just to finish them off and not let it go to a 4 just for purposes of staying rested.
I think that when you go up to 2-0, it's really crucial that you come out in the third set and you play strong. And there is a urgency to try and want to get that third set out of the way. But I think that staying patient and playing point by point in that third set got us through that game.
Coach, in the second set, you switched Kaylee, you put in Alicia, and the game take another rhythm. What do you see? What happened in that moment?
Alicia's she's been hurt most of the season. She is probably our, I don't know. You can just put that kid in and she can turn it like that. She's got a special talent there. So Callie was struggling. She was negative and making some bad decisions. And I have another young lady that is doing great, Megan. She's young though, and Alicia's a senior, and she's got something special about her. So when we put her in, she can make some changes. And I don't know if you noticed, she made a couple of digs that none of our middle backs can make, and that changes things as well. So we stayed with her back row as well, even though she didn't pass as well. But again, I've been asking her all along, can you swing? Can you swing? Are you able to go? And she's gonna gut it up and go the rest of the season. And again, I'm not gonna all of a sudden make her a starter, but she is that kid that you can put in, and she can come up with some really nice stuff. So. And it did. I agree with you. I was really happy I made that decision. It could have backfired. I didn't have any forecasting that it was, but she's the one kid that you can do that with.
And Coach, there had been some struggles for some players in the first set, including for Natalie Perez. But afterwards, she took off and delivered an incredible performance. Just how good had she been in that second and third set?
Well, Natalie would have been here, but she was so afraid to come in and talk to you guys that she declined. But, before the match, I was talking to my wife and daughters, and I said, if Natalie can come out and play like just close to her ability, she's going to be devastating. And she struggled when she came out that first series. I said, are you okay? She was one kill, maybe 4 errors at that point. And, you just hope that she gets together. And sure enough, when she started feeling it, it was, again, she's a kid that plays very high and can be very terminal. And sometimes she thinks too much. And she's a pleaser. She doesn't want to let anybody down. And sometimes that gets in the way as well. But when she got past it, she was, and these two are a combo. She and Natalie are, they go in together, and she always gets set by Natalie always gets set by Zoe. So it's important that they have a good relationship. And there wasn't bad setting. It was just Natalie was making some bad decisions early and corrected those.
First of all, congrats again on the win.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to know, you talked a bit about your goals, but what were some of the things you think that set you apart from the other team throughout this match?
I would say throughout the match, we kept saying to each other, like before, we were like, guys, we just got to play like we were playing, like we've been playing this whole season, because we all have a role on this team, on and off the court. So I was telling, like, hey, the bench needs to be even louder, because these are the crucial moments that we have to be loud, get everything up, get those kills that are important, try to hustle for every single play, even if you don't think that you can't get it, because if you don't know if you don't try. But we're sticking to our plan and just how we play, and we were very patient and confident on each other.
If I could add, this is a really tight group. We've taken them, we took them to Europe this summer, and the bond is pretty darn special, and that's the difference.
So how are you going to approach tomorrow the game? It's kind of a revenge from the last year. Mm-hmm. So this lean team is pretty good in defense. So what's your approach for tomorrow?
My approach is we need to go out there and we need to serve tough. We need to win the serve and pass game. I think when we pass, our offense is pretty unstoppable, and we can hold their middle and get some one-on-ones. So I think my goal is just to go in that game and just set my hitters up for success. All I can do is better the ball. So that's my job.
Okay, just to wrap it up here, what were one of your highlights from the game for each of you?
Definitely one of my highlights was, I had a couple, but just seeing how Zoe started the game was just amazing. Like, it made me feel very confident once I saw her. Like, she was just comfortable in doing her thing. Jenna Davis coming in and just blocking most of the balls. It was just amazing. I knew where to stand on defense. They made it very, very easy for me. And just Alicia coming in, like Coach said, she's that one player that she can absolutely do anything. She can't even play middle if she wanted to. So just seeing her do her thing, it was very special to watch everybody just playing as amazing as we were.
I think my highlight from the match is I think it's always really exciting seeing a player struggle and then come out and get their confidence back. So I think that that's definitely one of my highlights. It's always nice seeing your your teammate get a little down and come back, just like Callie did. So I think that's really important from not only our team but also our bench being so deep and coming in. So I think that when we can have players have a little bit rough time and someone can come and step in and then another can come back in and succeed, it's really efficient for us.
Highlight?
Yeah.
I just final points, winning, advancing, having an opportunity to play in another region championship. Those are special. Don't know how many are left. So that's it.
Thank you so much. Congratulations
Thank
on your
you.
win,
Thank
and all
you.
the best for
You guys ready?
Yes, sir.
Here with Florida Southern College following the semifinal match of the NCAA South Regional, joined by head coach Ashley Crowder, student athletes Caroline Chambers and Cassidy Markle. Coach, can you just start off with some comments about today's match?
Yeah. We obviously knew we had a tough match ahead of us. Tampa's obviously respectfully number one for a reason, and we knew it would be a tough environment as well. And I think we just came out a little bit flat. Certainly had some moments of energy and where things were clicking, but Tampa runs a fast offense, and it kind of made our offense and our game kind of get outside of what our norm, what we typically do. But yeah, it was a competitive match at times, but hats off to Tampa for sure.
Okay, so we could hear the bench noise even over the loud Tampa crowd. So how important is it to hype each other up at that point?
Who are you asking? Oh.
Yeah.
I think it's just as important as the dynamic on the court is. As a team, I think the girls on the court really look to everybody, including those who are not on the court, and making sure that we're engaged and our heads are in the game as much as theirs are is super important. And I think it kind of hypes them up just as much as it hypes us up.
Do you want me to add on? Or no? Okay. I think when we're in a loud environment, either home or away, it's really important that we kind of tune that out in those stressful moments or when it's tight, and we just rely on one another, and we just try to keep communication just between us on our side and focus on what we can do.
And sometimes you gotta pretend like they're cheering for us. So.
Question for the players. Do you guys think that during the game, emotion played like a negative role?
Definitely. I would say that I think we played a little timid and didn't necessarily rely on each other as much as we could have, like we have in past games. But being women and playing a sport that is high emotion, it's hard to kind of tune that out when it is about 95% of the game, I would say.
Just adding on super quick. Something that I know Coach Ashley talked about tonight, but something individually, and I know some of my teammates try to do, is staying present, just so we can kind of let the emotions kind of sit on the back burner a little bit. So I think we did kind of let emotions at times kind of get to the best of us, but we tried to go back to relying on staying present in the moment to focus on what we do, one ball at a time.
Question for Coach. Yesterday, Cassidy had picked up a minor injury, but was able to get back in the game and provide some great plays last night and tonight here against the Spartans. And similarly, Zoe Lowe, I think, had a minor injury after the first set, had her thigh taped up, but went back out and responded by taking the lead and being a dominant force on offense for the Mocs. How great is it that those players can bounce back from injuries and put up some good performances when they need it the most?
It's fantastic, right? Mental toughness, and also just kind of what she talked about, being in the moment and being present. And I even said, talking to our trainer before the game about Zoe, because she actually tweaked it at our practice this morning. I said, is she good to go? And I kind of went, you know what, just put her in. I think when she starts playing, she's going to forget about it. And I think she did, because she performed pretty well.
Definitely.
Coach, how is the mentality when you play against pretty strong and tough, like Tampa? How do you handle that one?
So I went into like our chalk talk, our pregame talk, that full honesty that the pressure, I think, was on the Spartans. At their home court, they're having a super high winning season, and they're the highest seed. So when our mentality was kind of just like I said at the beginning, we wanted to play our own volleyball, and I think the emotion led into that a little bit. Intimidation, I think, is a factor. They play clean volleyball, right? Their numbers were great. They're super high when they attack. They block well. They pass really well. I mean, their game is just clean. So. Yeah, I mean, it's inevitable if the mentality tends to slip a little bit. But coaching talk here, this teaches toughness, right? Failing through these things, I think, make us stronger in the end. And so, although losing is not fun for anybody, but I think, I'm already looking at off season of how we can put pressure and grow the mental toughness in situations like this. So.
Question for Coach and also for the players. You guys played Tampa in the regular season twice. What is the mentality? What is the game plan coming player team for the third time in a regional semifinal?
Coaching talk here. First contact, I think we got served off the court, and Tampa passed a lot better, right? And so we talk a lot about putting more pressure back on the service line to take them out of system to that Mackenzie Dufresne and Jenna don't get going in the middle there. And again, that's kind of our game plan typically. Execution is not there all the time, but if we can serve, it's always about first contact in my opinion. Take teams out of system or keep us in system with our first contact, then we are kind of unstoppable, and that's exactly what they did tonight. But that's usually our game plan going into someone like Tampa.
I agree. No, I agree.
The players, the program had been down a bit, and it's coach's first year. Are you guys surprised that you're able to get to the South Region semis so quick?
You can say that.
I'm not surprised. I think there was a lot of momentum even before the season started, both emotionally and physically, at practices, even outside of the gym, that we had this mindset from last year. We wanted to keep that momentum going, and we wanted a fresh start. I'm not surprised at all. And I know the players that we have on the court and the coaching staff that we have, we all had each other's backs, and I knew that from that moment, we were going to make it far and have a successful season.
And I would not say that surprised is the word. I think we worked extremely hard this season, and it's just goes to show how strong of a leader Coach Ashley is, and how much we respect her, both on and off the court. I think she led this team to where it was, and she never once doubted us and our abilities. And I think that her coaching has definitely elevated Florida Southern volleyball, and I'm very excited to see where this team goes in the future.
Question for Coach. Of course, at the end of the season, not only is it unfortunate for a season to end, but you also have to say goodbye to the seniors who have played their final games. What is one thing you'll miss most about this year's senior class of Mocs?
Leadership and growth, actually. I think this kid here, and she's actually returning, but she's a senior, but this kid here has grown a lot, and being at Florida Southern a couple years ago as an assistant, recruited Cass to come. Same thing with Mackenzie Peterman, brought Elena in this year, Djokovic, and even recruited Emily. So of the 3 of the 4, outside of Yana, I actually had an impact in their recruiting to Florida Southern. So it kind of was cool to start at the beginning and finish it up on the tail end. And just seeing the growth from when I recruited her at Big South and your junior year of high school all the way through the end here, just the growth in leadership.
And a question for Cassidy. What will you miss the most about Mox volleyball?
It's hard to say just one thing because Mox Volleyball has given me so many opportunities, both on and off the court. But I'm going to miss the team the most, I think. This year especially was a special group of girls, and the relationships and bonds that we had, it's just amazing, and I think that's definitely what I'll miss the most.
Question for the students. You guys have come this far in the tournament. What are some positive takeaways from the tournament overall?
We got to play. And it is just such a special accomplishment for a team to make it to this tournament. So I think that is the biggest takeaway.
We talk a lot about a get-to mentality, right? A lot of times kids are like, I have to go to class. Well, no, you have the opportunity to go to class, right? You have the opportunity today, one of 32 teams, to keep competing. And so that's kind of what she means by the get-to mentality.
Yeah, and I'll just add, I think Coach Ashley talks about it a lot too, but earning things and not having teams giving us things. And we've had a lot of those victories this year, which has been super special because in years past we've just kind of relied on other teams giving it to us, but that's not how you get to regionals or nationals. So I think just having those accomplishments where we feel like we've earned it and we've worked hard for things and being resilient. Eckerd last night in regular season, we went 0-2 with them, put up good fights, but last night I truly think we earned that win, and that was a team win too, which is something that I think is new for this year.
Definitely.
Just to wrap it up, if you could each tell us your highlight from the game.
This game.
You can go first.
I feel as though even the scores, the box scores don't necessarily reflect it. I do feel like even when we were down 4, 5, 6, 7, I think we were still giving a fight, right? Maybe the execution wasn't there. And as a coach, that's fun to watch. Yeah, I'm not saying I enjoyed it, but I mean, I'm proud of the kids that they showed fight. And again, tough match, tough team to play for sure. And I didn't like early in the season, I felt like we felt defeated in the sets, in the match. I was like, come on, we're still in it. We have lots more in volleyball. I don't have to say that today. I was like, we're here. Whether the score were down by 10 or up by 10, I think they were in it. So just the engagement, I was happy.
For me,
What? You got an ace, didn't you?
Yes, I did get an ace and a D. That was it. I'm just kidding. No. I think that even though, we were down, the love for the sport was still there. I could tell by everybody's emotions during the game and even after the game that this sport means something more than just something that we get to do, and the girls really showed that, I think.
For me personally, I think those moments where we're down or our execution isn't there, I think all we have is we can just rely on each other and fall back on each other. So I think throughout that game we were trying to make sure that we're playing for our teammate next to us, and that's something we've done all season, but I think tonight, and especially in those moments where things aren't necessarily working for us or in our favor, we really just have to turn to the person next to us and play for the person next to us. So I think that's my takeaway from the game.
I think we're done. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations on a good